Well, welcome, Whole Warrior Network. It's great to see you today. I'm here with Julie from Brandiwork, and I'm looking forward to having a chat with her about our upcoming collab for a webinar that we're hosting, which will be free for registered NDIS providers. Welcome, Julie.
Hi, Tanya. How are you going? I'm looking
Very
forward to
well.
this
Very well.
webinar very much. Yep.
Awesome. Looking forward to hearing about you in a moment. But first, I wanted to talk about why we're doing this collab, because there are so many changes in the NDIS field at the moment, with the new bill having dropped, and that will take effect on the 3rd of October this year. And with a move towards supports for people with disabilities, the supports will need to be registered. So it's creating, there might be gaps in supports for people if they can't find enough registered providers. So we wanted to talk to you about, if you're a registered provider, are you happy with your brand and what it looks like and how it feels? And will you be able to attract any participants in need of your services, and how do they know that you're out there? So Julie is an expert in marketing and branding and websites, and Dr. Julie Gibbons is a PhD in philosophy and fine arts. Welcome, Julie. Tell us a bit about you.
Thanks, Tanya. So, so how I got here was a bit of a complicated story. In terms of my career path has been very convoluted, but what I do with Brandiwork is I offer a way for your business to connect with your audience, and very much I see myself as in the role of facilitator, as a catalyst, as a translator, and it's very much about pulling your ideas out of your head and translating them so your audience can connect with that. And so for me it's about making the connection between you and your audience. And I do that through branding and website building and graphic design and all the other things. Yep.
Amazing. Well, I can testify that you're an amazing artist with so many talents, and you build beautiful websites and beautiful brands for particularly people in the holistic coaching space. Yeah. And I wonder what inspired you to collaborate with Whole Warrior Network for this webinar?
Well, like you said, Tanya, there's a big gap right now, and I see it's a fairly common problem I see with small business, with particularly with women or just people who are in a small business. They might have a very small staff, or they might just be working for themselves. They a lot of them, they'll just start off doing a DIY brand, and what they think a brand is a logo. And I am so not about the logo being just, that's not all a brand is. A brand is so much bigger than that. And I see them when it comes to implementing their branding, they might even have colours and fonts and all the rest of it, and then they go to implement it and they make a bunch of graphics, and it's really not connecting with their audience. So that's for me, it's about the whole design aspect of what I do is about communication, and so I want them to be able to communicate what they do effectively. And I see so many businesses fall down on that. They can't communicate what they do. And the thing is, with your visual presentation, how you present yourself to the world is communicating something about who you are and what you do. And if your brand looks a bit messy and you're looking very disjointed, well, that's just taking that little bit of shine off that whole first representation, that whole, it's that initial contact with your potential customers. If they have to struggle to get through that to get to talk to you, well, then you're just making it harder for them to come to you.
Yes, I'm thinking about my own social pages, thinking, oh gosh, I need to update mine. And I'm not a visual artist, I'm not a graphic designer, I'm not a branding expert. And I've muddled through building this community as best I can with, I did work in corporate marketing, but I was more on the media and strategic planning side. So it's a little bit of a different angle. So I'm really grateful for your expertise and to share that with our community. and I'm hoping I will learn a lot of things as well. Our first joint webinar coming up on the 16th of October is going to be focused on sharpening your brand to attract more customers and helping NDIS providers stand out, because there's a lot of competition these days. And I'm wondering, Julie, what's one actionable tip that attendees can implement right away to improve their brand before the webinar?
Well, that's a kind of a big question, but also it's something that they can easily, maybe they can have a dig into and try and assess for themselves. The very first thing I always do is check people's socials, and I just go, if I go into their Facebook account or their Instagram account and I look back through like the last month or two, I can spot straight away whether they've been consistent in presenting themselves the same way every time. Because part of what your brand elements do is, if you keep on using them all the time, then that builds up memorability in your audience's head. And that's part of what a brand is about. Part of it is actually just building up that sense of memorability. And to do that, you need to be consistent. So yeah, just go back to your socials for the past couple of months and see what you've posted. And if you keep on posting other people's stuff, or you picking up a photo here and a graphic there, and none of it matches, nothing. I mean, it doesn't have to be matchy, the whole thing, but there is a consistency. Like you can spot that if you look at the last month or so of posts. Yep.
So, Julie, in a competitive field like the NDIS, the National Disability Insurance Scheme, what's the number one way providers can differentiate themselves?
Really beam out who you are and how you help, because your audience is not looking for a logo. They're not looking for, they're actually looking for a human connection. And the more you can beam out who you are and be a personality and bring that to what you do, the easier it is for your audience to connect with you straight away.
Personality, maybe put a face to the brand as well.
Sorry?
Personality, so would that involve putting a face to their brand as well?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. 100%, because that's another thing I see with a lot of people, especially in service-based industries. They're trying to make connection person to person, and we buy from people. We don't, we love to see faces. It's how we connect. We're human. And so, particularly in a business that is service-based and you're working with one-to-one with people, I want to know what you look like. I want to know that I resonate with you, that you don't have three heads or whatever. But I want to see that
you wouldn't discriminate, Julie.
we don't discriminate. But it's about, we tend to like to work with people who we perceive as on the same they have this kind of same kind of outlook as us, the same kind of views on the world, and we can read a lot about that in our faces. So definitely put your face out there.
Thank you. How can building a strong brand help NDIS providers grow and thrive in the long run? Building a strong brand.
Well, the thing is, once you've got that strong brand, which is basically building memorability, once you've got that, then it's you'll end up not only attracting the people that are right for you. What happens then is, once you start working with those people that are right for you, that are a really good match for you, and they walk away from you and they sing your praises, and then you get referrals, and it all kind of snowballs from there. So it's about building those one-to-one relationships first, though.
So, Julie, after the webinar, what are some of the key takeaways or immediate changes that attendees can expect to see in their business?
Well, what I'm going to do within the webinar is I'm not going to talk about a complete wholesale rebrand, because you can do that, but I don't think that that's what people are up for right now in this economic climate. But what we can do is just tweak the elements that you have, because I can see there are, you know, things that just don't quite fit, they don't quite resonate, they don't quite gel. You know, when you're choosing your elements or how you've presented them, you know, how you've put them together, that implementation aspect of, you know, you've got your color palette, and you've got your fonts, and you've got your images, and putting them together. There's a squillion different ways you can put those same elements together, and so putting them together in a consistent fashion is another key part of that. So yeah, we'll go through that in the webinar as well. Yep.
Tips how they can do that themselves.
Yes.
Okay. Or they can brief their current branding expert.
Yep.
Or engage.
Yeah, but I'll show you how to tighten everything up so you actually get a much clearer, like I said, it's about projecting who you are, so you can more easily project who you are.
Amazing.
You're just tightening up what you have.
Yeah. For those who are going to watch the webinar live, what's the first step that they can take to start improving their brand? And you've kind of already touched on this today. First step they can take.
Okay, so there's lots of things, but yeah, once they've dug into their socials, I think the next step is for them to go away and really think clearly about what their niche wants, what their audience, what their perfect ideal customer wants. And it's not just about the service that you provide. It's also it's also about projecting something about what they aspire to, whether that's comfort or independence or whatever it is that they're aspiring to. That's what you need to project with your brand.
Yeah.
So think very clearly about what all the images that you put on your website or your socials, what is that saying? Like, do they feel joyful? Do they feel balanced, or like, are they projecting that sense of independence or whatever it is your audience is looking for?
Yeah, amazing. For me, what springs to my mind is that feeling of accessing the community, having more independence, like you said, and it could become a bit of a brand personality around a lifestyle, changing their lifestyle, be able to get out a bit more and do that with ease, more ease because of their supports.
Yeah.
All right. So why should NDIS providers not miss this opportunity to see this webinar on the 16th of October at 12 p.m. Sydney time? Why should
I
they?
think we can all do with some rethinking of where we are, and for every brand, I mean, I still do it myself. I go back, I review my own brand periodically and say, am I still on track? And that's about, your business strategy as much as anything, and understanding where we want to get to, making sure everything's still on track. So and as you said before, now is the perfect opportunity for those registered providers to come and learn how to do that properly for themselves, so that they can really hone in on this opportunity to, bring in some customers which might be floating around because of the people who are not registered having to drop out.
Amazing. So if anyone is really keen to already start this process of doing a bit of a brand refresh and an audit of their socials, of the look of their brand, how can they contact you if they want a bit of help with that?
Sure. Well, they can email me, julie@brandiwork.com. They can go and check out my website. They can go on Facebook. I'm most of the places on LinkedIn. So
Okay.
just go and find me. Just look for Brandiwork. That's Brandiwork with an I. Yep.
Okay, so www.brandiwork, brandiwork.com, and it's Dr. Julie Gibbons. Thank you so much for your time and what you're going to bring to the space of the disability field and how you can help some really great providers who are, heart-centered and holistic in their approach of person-centered and trauma-informed practices, how they can communicate what they can offer and how they can transform people with disabilities' lives. And I'm really excited to, do this webinar with you on the 16th of October.
Me too. I'm very excited as well. Yeah, 100%.
Awesome. Well, I'm Tanya Gorey. I'm the founder of the Whole Warrior Network, and I'm the owner of Whole Warrior Solutions. And this is a community development project brought to you, sponsored by my business, Whole Warrior Solutions. If you'd like to find out more about the Whole Warrior Network and the business coaching and other services that we provide there, please go to www.wholewarriornetwork.com.au. And we'll see you on the 16th of October. Don't forget to register. And you can be in the winning have a chance to win a free social media audit from Dr. Julie herself.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, so that's part of the application process. So you register for free and then you contact me and throw your hat in the ring, and I'll pick one person to review live on the webinar.
So good luck. And thanks to those who've already registered. They're coming in like hotcakes. So I think we've got room for about 150 seats in the virtual meeting. So looking forward to seeing you there.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Bye.